Welcome back to Build for Health, the show where we take the practical, no-nonsense look at what actually moves the needle on your fitness, your longevity, your quality of life. I'm Pete Wright, joined as always by my trainer at Elevate Fitness and resident myth buster, Srdjan Injac. Today, we're talking cardio, not the old school run until you hate life version, but real cardiovascular fitness. What does it do for your heart, your recovery, your strength, your ability to live well? We're digging into why some people avoid it, why others lean on it maybe too much, and how to find the kind of cardio that actually supports building a healthier, stronger body. Let's get into it. Srdjan, hi.
Hello.
So I'd like to start by fully litigating why you are such an antagonist to cardio.
I do cardio. I like cardio.
You do cardio, sure, you do cardio, but you don't like cardio. You're on the record.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I'll admit.
Talk to me about
I do I like.
No, that's the truth. What is your relationship with cardio? How did it start, and how did it come off the rails?
The only reason I think that I don't like cardio is, I don't know, for me it's kind of boring. I need something more, that's why weightlifting for me is more interesting. I can do all these things, and just cardio for me, I have to find something that will make cardio a little bit more fun and interesting. Mm-hmm. So my cardio is a little bit different than everyone else's. I mean, yeah, I do have an injury also, but that's a different story. And the reason why I can't go running more than like 3 miles and go for like 5 miles and stuff like that. I have pain in my knee, but even if I had a healthy knee, I don't know if I would do that. For that. Yeah. So my cardio is more different. Like if I'm trying to cut down and get down on my body fat percentage, then I'll do like cardio after every workout. And I only have to do it for literally 15 minutes. I don't do more than that. You don't need to be, on the treadmill for like an hour. So I do kind of interval cardio, which helps me a lot. And it can be really done in 15 minutes, and it can really push you to the point where you can, at the beginning, when I started doing this, you can't even go for 15 minutes. You're done after like 10 minutes. Yeah. It's that intense, but it gives you all the benefits of the cardio. So,
well, I want to talk specifically about that in a bit, but first, can we just talk about the role cardio plays in overall fitness? Because so far we've talked mostly just about, heavy stuff and some diet, but we haven't really dug into what cardio is actually doing for our health, for our strength, for our longevity and long-term success.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of benefits to cardio. Usually people are like, oh, don't just do cardio, lift weights and all that stuff. But cardio is just as important as lifting weights. There's many benefits. I mean, the cardio strengthens your heart, your lungs, and circular system. It improves how effectively your body uses oxygen, delivers nutrients to your muscles. Again, when it comes to heart health, improving endurance, energy, fat burning, metabolism, lung function, circulation, even mental health, also to your recovery and mobility and longevity, also disease prevention, everything. So it is important that you do cardio as well. So it's always good when you combine both. But I can even notice a lot of difference in myself. Like when I kind of would stop doing a little bit of a cardio, either I don't have time or this and that, I can really tell the difference when I cut my cardio down, or if I stop it for a few months, just the way I feel and the way I actually perform at the gym. It affects me.
Where does it, outside of the gym, where do you notice cardio fitness the most? How does it impact you?
Well, because the cardio improves the endurance and the energy. So it increases your stamina and aerobic capacity, so you can perform daily tasks or even work out with being less fatigued, and, it helps your body recovery even after, you work all day at the yard and things like that. Like it will help you recover faster. And then also when it comes to your lungs function, it enhances the oxygen delivery to your body, right? It strengthens the respiratory muscles and increases the lung capacity. So you will notice a big difference when you do daily tasks, or if you go for long walks, or whatever you're doing at home. So also improves your sleep as well. So you will notice the difference. Definitely.
That's you just said it, that the sleep I definitely notice myself when I get on a routine. I notice it, man, for everything from like going up and down the stairs in my house. Nobody is around, and I get to the top of the stairs and I'm panting, and I'm like, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed just to be in my own skin. Like, if people were watching me, this is ridiculous. It's a one flight of stairs. Putting on socks, like, it's just ridiculous. Like, that was the kind of stuff that I would find would wind me. And when I get on a cardio, if I can figure out how to get over that voice in the back of my head that just reminds me cardio sucks, and find something fun that I actually don't mind doing, I notice a difference, and it's pretty quick too.
It is. It is. You don't have to go for like 3-4 months to actually see any difference. Like when we talk about muscle and building muscles, and it takes time, and right eating for you to start noticing the muscle and all that stuff. Cardio will actually deliver those benefits a lot faster. You'll notice it. Even doing those simple tasks, like you said, putting on socks, getting up, down stairs, flights of stairs, just simple things.
All right. So where does cardio fit when you're training folks? Where do you like to see cardio slot into the overall training regimen?
Well, I like them to do definitely cardio. I ask every single one of my clients after our workouts to stay a little bit longer and do the cardio afterwards. I don't like doing them really before. They can go on the treadmill, warm up a little bit. I just don't want them using all that energy and putting into running and cardio and not have enough to pull and push all these heavy weights that we do, right? So they're exhausted, more fatigue. But after weights, you can still do cardio, right? So I always ask them to do the cardio then, or maybe on their days off when they're not lifting. And I usually like them to do the cardio before breakfast in the morning while they're fasting.
What is the function
it will
of that?
help
Just
him.
as a
It'll help him
sidebar.
burn more calories. It helps you settle for the day, and it's just even we always recommend even if you can go to the gym and do weights during fasting period, but not a lot of people can do that because body requires a little bit more energy for that. So it's something that you have to get used to it, and you slowly build up to that. But even if you can't, like anytime you find an hour here and there or half an hour, so it doesn't always have to be an hour of cardio. Like even 15-20 minutes is better than not doing anything at all. I don't care, like it doesn't have to be crazy running. If they can go for a walk or a jog or anything like that, cycling, anything that they like to do and enjoy when it comes to the cardio, pick that and just go for it. So yeah, it's just as important.
One of the things that you and I have talked about in the past is what happens when people fixate on cardio, right? Well, I'm definitely not that guy. Like I would love to have a little bit more juice in that particular box. But what does it look like when folks overcompensate for or overinvest in cardio? Is that a thing?
Yeah, there is a thing. I do have actually a few members here, and I was actually going to talk to one of my members that was here, and I've noticed that she comes in every day, and she I'm usually with the client, so I can't just leave, but she does cardio. She'll walk around the gym a little bit, kind of look at the weights, machines. I can tell she's not familiar. And then she gets on cardio, and she will be there for like an hour and a half and just do different cardio, get on the different cardio equipment, and she leaves. And she comes every day, which I love that she's dedicated and she's committed, that she's consistent, that she comes every day, that she finds time. Now, if I can just have her do some weightlifting, that will actually help her, because I can tell she's a little bit overweight, not too bad. She's still in a pretty good shape, but I'm like, doing all this cardio is just going to burn all that muscle mass that she even has now. And I don't know how much muscle mass she has, but it's just going to burn all that muscle mass. And I'm guessing usually people that I know that do a lot of these cardios, like their diet is not perfect with nutrition. Their protein intake is very low. Their calorie intake is very low because they're trying to lose all this weight. So they go do a lot of cardio, and they end up being in a worse position than they were when they started, because now they lost all that muscle mass and the fat percentage is still there. They haven't burned really that much fat, right? So that's the only problem with that. But I have a lot of runners. That's what they do. They run marathons and stuff like that.
Sure.
And
but if there's somebody running a marathon, they have their game together.
Yeah, and they know they're better with their nutrition and stuff. They understand because they eat for their goals, to be able to run those marathon stuff. Those are different than the people that overdo cardio because they have a goal of maybe just losing weight. So they do different kind of cardio. Their nutrition, I know, is completely different than from more like athletes that do 5Ks, 10Ks.
Well, I want to learn from you about the sort of type and intensity of cardio that you recommend when we are dealing with a strength-focused program, right? Like, I'm coming in mostly because of strength, and but I know I need to do cardio too, and I'm not great at it. So I'm really trying to stay after all my sessions with you and give you the 15 minutes. But what types of cardio are a good fit for?
So everyone is
a good strength program.
Yeah, so everyone's a little bit different. Not everyone's on the same level when it comes to the fitness. So I always say, push yourself, push your limits. Like if you have knee problems, get on the bike, do elliptical. You don't have to get on the treadmill and run. If you like treadmill, go for a run. Do that. Do the things that you like to enjoy, which one actually fits you better. So, but then I'll see a lot of people get on, no matter which one, like treadmill or elliptical or bike, and then they just kind of go slow. They're in that comfortable zone, and I'm like, well, you got to push it a little bit. You can't. That's why I always say, do not get too comfortable, because I always tell people, like, your body is not going to change unless you give it a reason to change. And it's not going to change. It's going to stay the same. Why does it need to change if you're not pushing it? Your body can already handle what you're doing. So it doesn't need to change, and it won't. So that's why you have to push those limits. And, usually the zone 2 is the one they call moderate zone, where they just kind of where you can even talk and walk and, cycle and all that stuff. So it's kind of keeping you steady and just keeping you where you are. So push a little bit, do interval training, like get yourself outside the comfort zone, get that heart rate up, spike it up a little bit, and then go down. The way, like, that's how I do my cardio. Like, I don't want to be comfortable with the cardio. So I'll go for get on the treadmill. I'll sprint for 30 seconds, and then I'll kind of do fast walk or walk for 90 seconds. And then again, I sprint for as fast as I can, run, go for 30 seconds, and then go 90 seconds and go for a walk. So if you do that like 8 times, it equals to exactly 15 minutes. And that just, oh my God.
So that's what you want to do. You want to get your heart up, get the blood moving really fast.
Kind of interval training, push your body a little bit, get outside that comfort zone, and it will definitely challenge you. So I don't know. I know the first time after like 4 times of doing that, I was like dying on the treadmill. I'm like, I'm about to faint. I stopped for a second. I stopped, and I got off really too quick, and I started to get dizzy. I'm like, oh my God, I need to sit down. So I'm like, this sounded very easy. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, I got this, no problem. Like 8 times, sprint only 30 seconds, not a big deal. Oh yeah, it will definitely challenge you. So, and that's what I enjoy. That's the kind of cardio I like to do. That will push me, that will challenge me. So I always tell my clients after the workout, challenge yourself, push. Sometimes you'll have more energy. Can do the interval training, go for a sprint, if you know your joints are okay, knees are okay, and you can do that. Same thing, you can do the same thing like that on the bike and on the elliptical. 30 seconds, go as fast as you can. That interval, and you want to be there for an hour. Everyone has 15 minutes after the workout. You know, you'll spend sometimes people 15 minutes just talking with the people there.
My beloved rowing machine.
Yeah,
I could do it on the rowing machine.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. You can set it up.
No, we all have 15 minutes of cross time, standing around the desk, you know, talking. Nobody who races out of the gym unless you don't want to be seen.
True.
Unless I don't want you to catch me not doing cardio. That's the only time I race out of the gym.
Yeah. I'll notice my clients, they see me kind of leave the room and they'll just get out really quick. By the time I'm out, I see them getting in the car and turn on, just running. I'm like,
sunglasses and a giant hat on. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so what do we do for people? And I'll say maybe people who have two thumbs and look like this guy who really do think that cardio is punishment, right? How do you change that mindset? You've given a lot of a good case, but do you find that when you get people, if you can just get them to commit to a little bit of routine, they eventually start to like it? I don't think I've ever stuck to a routine long enough to like it.
But yeah, that's the problem. See, if you just would stick with that routine for a little longer, and once you start seeing the benefits of it, then people will be like, oh, actually, this works. And they get addicted to that. But everyone gets so close to seeing those benefits and they give up so fast because everyone wants those fast results. They think once they do it once or twice, 3 times, and like, okay, I'm tired, I should see the results. No, that's not how it happens. So I tried to make it fun for them. I'm like, do it just for a little bit. You know, you don't have to go all of a sudden, you know, right away the first day, you know, for a full hour and stuff like that. Just start a little bit by a little bit, and then you'll slowly get into it and you'll build that routine, and then you'll just do it without even thinking about it too much. It becomes like, say, a routine. You just do it. So it's just finding the ways that will make the cardio movement more interesting for you. Like I said, I don't like running long distances. I don't know if anybody could talk me into that, but I find other ways. So I'll talk to people, see what they like, what they enjoy. And then, you know, even if it's, you know, people that have dogs, take them for a walk or like stop throwing the ball, have the, you know,
maybe have the dog run the ball away and you have to catch it.
Yeah, you throw the ball and then the dog doesn't want to get it. Then the dog makes you to go get it.
Exactly.
And then you have to go around.
Get a really like stubborn dog. Get a dog who doesn't fetch.
Yeah, that's my kind of dog. That's how it goes.
Yeah. So we're talking about 15 minutes, and that actually does feel doable. Like that feels like a routine I can get apart, especially when I assign it with, it's that the whole micro habits model, right? If I assign that task as something that I do with the workout when I'm in the gym, then I think I can get there and build a little bit more stamina toward just keeping that routine going. At what point is there value in increasing from 15 minutes? Like when do you say, like, okay, we're going to go from 15 minutes not just as a part of the workout routine, but now we're going to move up to a half hour, 45 minutes. When do you want to do that? Is that only when you're training for something specific?
If it's something specific, like I never went more than 15 minutes. I can always challenge myself in that 15 minutes. Once I get to that 15 minutes and I stay on that for about a week or two, and now I'm like comfortable with that 15 minutes. Now I'm starting to change different things. Like I'll have the treadmill a little bit on the incline. I'll make it a little bit harder. And now instead of just walking on those 90 seconds, I do a little bit of a fast walk. Right. So I'll change and play with that a little bit. And then I'll make myself maybe run a little bit faster on those sprints, because you start running faster. So you can always change things, and I can always get that treadmill on the incline and a little bit more and a little bit more, and challenge myself a little bit more, and then be like, okay, how long is it going to take me on this incline to get to that 15 minutes? And when can I move a little bit more and get a little bit higher? Or instead of just like walking this slow, that 90 seconds, I want to be able to walk a little bit longer and like maybe not hold on to the sides of the treadmill. So I find all these other things. I'm like, okay, let's improve on that. Let's see how long it's going to take me to get there. So I always have to have a little, like a goal. You set the goal, see how many weeks it's going to take me there, and never pass 15 minutes. Right? Yeah, I can always say that 15 minutes, and I have that 15 minutes. I know I do. So, and I get it done.
But you have the sort of physiological bandwidth to push yourself within the 15 minutes. So that's where you're making your gains.
Yes, that's where I'm making, not necessarily, going now for 20 or 25 and 30 and stuff like that. So I can always work in that 15 minutes. And usually sometimes people are restricted with time. So if you're restricted with time, do that. You're always going to be pushing yourself and challenging yourself. And it's always going to be that 15 minutes. So,
okay. Well, we've been talking about assigning the 15 minutes to, for example, for me, for my time with you training. How often during a given week, like how many minutes should we be shooting for in a week, do you think?
This is like according
Certainly
to...
more than 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, according to like American Heart Association, they say at least 150 minutes of moderate cardio, like brisk walking, cycling, stuff like that. That's per week. In 1 week, then once you have 150 minutes of moderate cardio, but about 75 minutes of just like a hard cardio, vigorous cardio, like running or like doing that high interval intensity training. They want about 75 minutes, they say, per week. It will be the best to actually see all those benefits of cardio. But so and then if
5 days, 5 days out of 7, you're doing some hardcore. But if you're also walking a dog that is not participating in any sort of exercise, but if you're dragging the dog along who won't fetch, and like on top of this stuff, then you can kind of work in your the other 75 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean that's just the
doable.
cardio. They don't, and that's not combining the strength training. They say they want those plus combining with 2 to 3 days of strength training that gives you the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
But at least 150 minutes of moderate cardio, that would be like walking a dog or cycling or just, but 75 minutes, if you can do at least 75 minutes, and those would be those 15 minutes that I do of hardcore cardio. If you can get 75 of those minutes per week, that would be ideal. We're talking about
zone 3, zone 4, right? The higher zones.
Zone 2 would be into these 150 minutes of moderate cardio. Yeah. That's when you can walk and talk and, all that stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit harder is like now you're having a hard time talking, you're exerting yourself, your heart rate is up. So you need to save the energy for what you're doing. So those are the...
Okay. Every episode's a new lesson for Pete to figure out how to keep himself upright more often.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start doing those pretty soon.
Yeah. Right.
I've been kind of, I'll admit, I'm not perfect. So I'll call myself out. I say, I know all these things and I get it, but sometimes I get busy with stuff too, and I don't do it. And I'm like, all right,
you're running
making everybody else do it.
People.
So I'm like, you know what? I have no excuse. I got to do it too now. So yeah, I don't know. But the other day I was doing it and I'm like, why am I so tired? I'm like, I shouldn't be breathing this hard. What's wrong with me? And then usually I'll know. This is how I know also. I'll check my watch to see like how much sleep I got. And then I'll look at my, what my average heart rate was and what's the lowest. And usually when I'm running, it's in like high 30s. But when I'm not, I notice it's kind of mid 40s. My resting heart rate is it's looking for the resting heart rate. It's in the high 40s when I'm not doing cardio. Soon as I start cardio, literally after 1 week, just 1 week, it goes.
That trend starts
goes
to
down.
fall.
Yeah, and that's kind
crazy.
of how I look at it. And I've been watching it lately, and I'm like, okay, it's mid 40s. I'm like, I don't like this. So we're gonna have to step it up.
That's actually really great. Like just as like you're watching the trends you're watching for those of us who track the data on the watch, you're watching resting heart rate. What else? What other, are you watching any other measures that are being tracked?
Just like how much sleep I get, and then I see how much I've spent time in like the deep sleep. It will tell you deep sleep, light sleep, so I want to make sure that I'm spending more time in the deep sleep. And I noticed that I do spend more time in the deep sleep when I do cardio, and my resting heart rate goes a lot lower. So that's kind of how that's for the people, like you said, who likes the numbers and like the data and all that stuff, which I noticed that.
Yeah. Okay. This is great. So we're back after our little fall break here, and we're excited to be back. We've got a whole slew of episodes planned. So definitely scroll up in the show notes in your podcast app, tap that send us a question link, and let's get some new questions in there. We're going to have another Q&A episode coming up, I am sure, in the coming weeks and months. So let us know what you think. We had a great Halloween party. It was fun to get called out by a few folks who were members and actually listen to the show. So shout right back out at you guys. Thank you for hanging in with us and learning right along with me. This is very, very helpful. So thank you on behalf of Srdjan Injac. I'm Pete Wright. We'll see you next time right here on Built for Health.